Hey, what's up guys? Coach Mac, Play Fast Football. I'm going to piggyback on a video that I just did about going from veer back to zone, and I'm going to talk to you about not only why we're doing it, but within our terminology and our verbiage and how we teach our kids how it's going to be different than what we've done in the past. So not only schematically, but systematically how it's going to be different. We just finished our season up. We finished 5-5. Lost on Friday night to a very good Fleming Allen team that finished their season undefeated at 9-0. So congrats to them. Anytime you can be undefeated in a regular season, that's a tremendous accomplishment. So good luck to them in the first round of the playoffs. Make sure you check out our sponsors, GameStrat, sideline replay system that we use. In the description box down below, you will see a link that takes you directly to the GameStrat website so you can check the product out. If you're looking for the #1 choice for coaches that are searching for the most reliable, most affordable sideline replay system on the market, make sure you check out GameStrat. Difference USA, the ultimate striking machine. We have one in our weight room that attaches to our racks that we're going to be using that we need a lot of work on because we got to get better up front in the trenches on striking and delivering blows and striking people and getting rid of them on the defensive side of the ball. So it helps with elbows in, thumbs up, hand placement, eyes where they belong, coming out of your hips and being an athlete. All right, and kind of using that with all the things that you're doing to develop that strength in the weight room and now develop it in a football technique. You can use it in your weight room or out on the field. Comes with different attachments. You don't need a partner. You don't need a bag. You don't need anybody else with you. If it's in the weight room, all you need is a player, all right, and your Difference USA Ultimate Striking Machine, and you can get it done. Just Play Football, which is digital software helping take your program to the next level. It's the only diagram tool that I use if I'm going to draw anything at speak at clinics, if I'm going to draw anything for webinars that I do on my other website. I only use Just Play Football, so make sure you check them out. Defensive Coordinator 1, which is an in-game app allowing you to make critical in-game adjustments based on live in-game data. You have somebody upstairs charting, all right, the calls that you make, the calls that they're making, the personnel you have, the personnel they have, blitzes, stunts, coverages. You get to find out what's working, what's not working. You get to see it off of live in-game data so you can make critical adjustments based on what's actually happening, and you take the guesswork out of making adjustments and you make your adjustments pinpointed off of the actual data that's occurring in game. So check out Defensive Coordinator 1. And then Dome Hats, which is a major sponsor of Play Fast Football. All right, they want to get into every state, every sport, every staff. All right, every hat has a story. All right, Dome wants to help you tell your hat story. All right, and they have a great custom online hat builder that you can go online and design your own hat. You can change the color on all 4 panels. You can put your logo on it, put words on the side, words on the back. You can change, all right, the top of the bill, the bottom of the bill can be different colors, so you can build your hat however you want. So make sure you check out, all right, Dome Hats. You can go to www.domeheadwear.co, all right, to start building your own custom dome hat. All right, so I talked about it last week how we are going to go back to inside zone from our veer play, all right, and one of the reasons that we are doing so is I think we have the personnel to run inside zone. I think we have 2 really good young backs, a freshman and a sophomore, that have the feet and, the eyes, the vision, and the jump cut, one cut, burst ability to be inside and wide zone runners. So we are going to go back to inside zone, all right, but one of the things that you have to look at is how not only schematically and technique-wise it's going to change, but for us, all right, the verbiage, the communication, and how we teach things is going to change dramatically for our kids. Last year for us, our veer play with the tags, all right, was probably 60 to 70% of our run calls with our RPOs attached to them. Well, for us, the veer play and the tags were all front side deals. So the front side of the veer play is where the reads and the RPOs happen. The back side is where the access throws happen. All right, so if we were going to run our veer play to the right side would have the RPOs or the reads or the screens. The left side or the back side would have the access. So if we ran our regular veer kick play and we got 2 double teams and a 3 technique, and we got a double and we got a double and we had a base block on the back side, don't let them cross your face, and we tried to kick the 5 and run the tight inside veer play, our RPOs, whatever combinations we had, probably 4 combinations that we liked to the twin side, our RPOs would be over there on the twin side, and our access throws would be over here on the single side. Okay, so it's still 6 in the box, 6 blockers, control 7 and 8 with access throws and RPOs. All right, that's never changed. For us, though, what happens is if we go back to inside zone, what's going to happen now for us is the RPOs that are to the 2 receiver side now become single side inside zone runs. All right, so for us, All right, now when we go back to inside zone, if we want to run RPOs to the twins, we actually have to run inside zone to the single. So now for us on a zone play to run an RPO to the twins, we would have to inside zone at the single, which means our entry point would be more to, all right, the front side of the single receiver, all right, and now we have the bang, all right, we have the bounce, we have the bend, but now we got to make sure we really control that drop down defender to the single side, okay, because now the backside, again, this is where communication and verbiage, the backside is now the RPO side. The front side is now the access. So now we got to teach our quarterbacks that our reads are being made on the backside, not the front side. We have to teach our receivers that the RPOs, all right, are being run on the backside of the play and not the front side of the play. Okay, so now by running the inside zone, we're going to have a little bit different entry point. We're going to enter probably front side, play side. So now that's going to be to the single side with our entry point, even though we know most of the time these zones will roll back and the point of attack is actually that back side, not the front side. But having that different entry point on the front side now means that this inside zone play is going towards the single, not towards the two receiver side. So if we wanted to run, all right, our theories to the twins, in other words, if we feel like they are playing with an overhang that is outside our number 2 receiver, okay, so if we feel like we're getting a structure where it's a 6-man box and they give us, all right, maybe a quarter steal or maybe a rip list match cover 3 deal, whatever the deal may be, if they give us an overhang outside of our number 2, okay, and we want to run the ball at the 2 receiver side, we now have to run our RPOs back to the single side, all right, and we now have to go with inside zone to the twins. Whether we kick it, insert it, wham it, doesn't matter, but now we now have to go the inside zone and run our zone at the twins, which was the same thing we did with the Veer. We ran the Veer at the twins, all right? It's just a difference in what you're reading. Now when we run the zone at the twins, the RPO side or the read side is actually the backside. And this front side now becomes your access side. So, schematically, the inside zone and the Veer play will be blocked a little bit differently. The techniques of how we block it up front will be blocked probably a lot differently. So the techniques that we have to teach to our O-line are going to be different. The techniques that we teach to our back about the entry point and what we have to read is going to be different. Okay, so there's a lot of things within the play itself that are different. But for us, the biggest coaching point, and when I talk to other coaches about changing systems or how they run their system, the biggest thing I can tell you is make sure you understand within your system play calling, communication, access throws, RPOs. Make sure you understand how a scheme change like this is going to affect those other players. Because now we got to go back and teach our quarterbacks that our RPOs and screens are on the backside, our accesses are on the front side. We got to teach our receivers now, when we change the verbiage of the play, all right, that access is front side, RPOs are backside. So it's more than just a schematic change. It's more than just a technique change with O-linemen. All right, it's a wholesale change to the verbiage. It's a wholesale change to how we communicate. It's a wholesale change to where the quarterback's reading. So it's more than just making a simple change to say Veer to inside zone. All right, so you got to understand that it changes the whole dynamic, all right, of your play calling system and the structure of how you operate as an offense. All right, now, I talked about it in the last one, you know, why are we going to go back to this? All right, I want more consistency in our 10 personnel runs. All right, I want more consistency in our 10 personnel runs. I want to be able to, all right, have options, especially if I get into 3-by-1. I want to be able to have options to run, all right, strong and weak. All right, I want to be able to run inside zone both ways. I want to be able to run wide zone both ways. Okay, I think inside zone and wide zone gives you a little bit better structure. For us with our tackle wrap play, most of the time we would run the tackle wrap play back to the single and we would throw our RPOs or key screens, whatever we got going on out there. All right, so for us it would mostly be this type deal. All right, and we very rarely, unless we really like the look, we very rarely would run the wrap to the trip side, because now all I have is a quarterback run. I don't have much else out here, all right, to protect the quarterback with only one receiver out there. There is no screen game, all right. We'd have to block it different if we wanted to throw RPOs and block out on a 5 and read an LB, all right. So I think we got limited in our one-back run game, all right, and I think inside-outside zone gives us more one-back run game consistency. I think our run game this year for us was a little bit too much dog and pony, smoke and mirror. We had to direct snap at the tailbacks and get extra blockers a bunch, and although it was good to us, and it's good at certain times, if you had a dual-threat quarterback that you didn't mind running the ball with, it's way better with him in the game, because now they have to give you the box looks you want because that quarterback can throw the ball. We would get into it in one-back situations, and early on, until people started realizing who was in the game and how we were doing it, we would get the same box looks, and we would be able to exploit some of that with a direct snap to a tailback inside of our base running game that we always carry. Later on, as film gets out, they start to see who the backs are, who you're snapping it to. When that back gets there, another helmet comes down. They don't honor the passing game. So I want to get back to a little bit more consistency if we are going to be 10 personnel, a little bit more consistency in the run game, and I think that's inside zone, outside zone, all right? And I feel like we've got the personnel to possibly start going a little bit more 11 personnel. I think we've got a young kid that can be a tight end for us in the run game and in the passing game. So I think becoming a little bit more 11 personnel, I think inside zone and wide zone is going to be a little bit more conducive to what we do. All right, so those are the reasons why we're kind of going back to inside zone as opposed to our Veer play. Those are the things I think you need to keep in mind within the nomenclature, verbiage, how you teach your offense, where your RPOs are. Those are the little things you got to keep in mind when you're making a schematic change. It's not as easy to just say, yeah, well, we'll just go back to this instead of that. When you carry RPOs and access throws and you try to be a tempo team, all those things have to kind of be built around each other. And the quarterback's got to understand, and the receivers got to understand, and the running back's got to understand. So it's a little bit more than to just say, yeah, we're going to go back to inside zone from Veer. All right. Make sure you guys check out the Play Fast Football Clinic, the first ever Play Fast Football Clinic that's coming up January 24th, 25th, 26th, 2020 in St. Augustine, Florida, right on the beach, right on the ocean at the Embassy Suites. Make sure you go to www.playfastfbclinic.com so that you can check out how to register and how to book a room at the Embassy Suites. I highly suggest booking a room on site at the Embassy Suites. 4 people can stay in a room. Everybody gets made to order breakfast every night you're there. You get a 2-hour happy hour with Embassy Suites every night you're there. We will be having a social on Friday night and a lunch on Saturday. So when you combine breakfast with their 2-hour happy hours, with our social, with our lunch on Saturday, I think for the money involved, I think it's going to be one of the best clinics you go to. You're going to get probably the most bang for your buck based on the breakfast, the lunch, the socials, and the happy hours at the Embassy Suites. Excited to announce, I just announced on Twitter, 2 coaches onto our all-star coaches panel, which will be a panel of 4 or 5 coaches answering questions for about an hour and a half on running programs in small towns, big towns, running programs in inner city places, and running programs in different areas. So excited to add Mike Coe, the head coach in Madison County in Florida. Unbelievable resume. I put it out there on Twitter if you want to check it out. 2-time state champion, I think a 2-time runner-up. Great coach, does a great job at Madison County. So we're excited to add Coach Coe. And then we're excited to add a friend of mine, Kevin Sullivan, who is a local North Florida, Jacksonville area coaching legend. And I coached against Kevin a couple times. And I'm extremely excited to announce Kevin Sullivan as a member of our all-star panel because he is a good football coach. He is a really good person, funny guy. I love spending time with him and talking football, and I love coaching against him. So Kevin Sullivan will be an outstanding addition to the already great lineup that we have with guys like Joey Wiles and Darryl Sutherland and Rick Darlington and Randy McPherson and a couple others that we're getting ready to announce, Brian Braddock. So, you know, all guys that are having great seasons right now, all great football coaches. I'm excited because I want to listen to these guys. I want to get this clinic set up and then know that I don't really need to speak. I do these videos all the time. I want to listen to other people. I've got a lot that I need to learn on offense, defense, and special teams. I got a lot of things I need to learn to make my program better. I got a lot of things I need to learn in the weight room and with fundraising and building and adding elements to your dynamic of culture. So I am really excited about adding these two guys, Mike Coe and Kevin Sullivan, to our already outstanding list. So make sure you check out www.playfastfbclinic.com. All right, and hats off to Baker Sporting Goods, Dome Hats, and Score Fundraising for making this clinic become a reality. It's been a dream of mine to put on a coaching clinic where I can get guys from across the country into an area to talk about high school football with good high school speakers, address our problems, come up with our solutions, and make it a clinic that is for high school coaches. So thank you to Baker Sports, Dome Hats, and Score Fundraising for making it a possibility. I'm extremely excited about it, and now the next 2.5 to 3 months, it's going to be all I'm doing is working on finalizing everything to make this the best clinic I possibly can. I appreciate you guys being subscribers. Make sure you click the subscribe button, the notification button, so you know every time a video comes out. Make sure you like or dislike a video. Any comments you make, I respond to every comment. Even if you dislike a video or put a negative comment, that's your opinion. I appreciate you watching. I will always respond. The interaction on YouTube in the comment section with likes and dislikes is what makes YouTube such a great platform. So make sure you interact with the video. I will respond to everybody that I can. I think I respond to 99% of comments left in my video. So I appreciate everything that you guys do. Remember, you won't play well until you play fast, and I'll see you guys next time.